A friend, F, is having an affair on her partner, M, and planning on destroying him when she gets back from work. I've been friends with this couple for a while now, and I witnessed her cheating multiple times. Like, a lot. We work together and travel for long periods of time away, months, from home. For a while now I've minded my own business, but it's beginning to eat away at me. I've chosen to avoid the situation since I don't think it's healthy, but I feel like the guy deserves to know. He pretty much stays home and takes care of the family. The wife on the other hand actively complains and talks bad about how he uses him as her house and family nanny while she's gone. She's talking about leaving him and taking everything when we get back. I feel really bad for the guy, since I went through something similar and I wished I would have known, so that I could have done something to protect myself. I want to tell him, but I also know that if I do the conflict at work is going to explode. And I really don't want that. So far I just decided to stop contact with them, but the thought keeps popping in my head about how I wished someone had my back when I was going through that garbage. Do I leave it there or tell? Edit. Thank you all for your responses. Everything that you guys are suggesting mirror the thoughts in my head. The conclusion I've come to is, the situation is really none of my business. I know that standing by watching someone hurt another is a terrible thing, but having that person in my life and possibly enabling it is just as terrible. Our organization gives access to legal help for spouses. I plan to share this information and how to use it since I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any information on it. Whether anonymous or identifying myself I haven't figured out yet. Things are going to come to light eventually and it is their life, not mine. I am an outsider in this. I want to do the right thing by my moral compass because I witnessed it. Getting involved and creating drama isn't going to heal the pain in my past, change the choices that others have made, or stop bad things from happening. You were never his friend if you knew the whole time and didn't say something. You were her friend for keeping quiet. You've been in the situation yourself, so the real question is, can you live with yourself knowing you could have done something positive for him but you chose not to because of a conflict at work with a woman who sounds like she doesn't give a FK about anybody else but herself? Tell him. He deserves to know. You can create fake email account. She's going to rob him. She's not worth preserving this friendship. Tell him. No anonymity, no fake email. Tell him the truth and to change his locks before she's back. I would let him know anonymously. I would take a distanced approach. Use a burner email or text account to drop the dirt so he isn't completely blindsided. Depends on your relationship with him and comfort level with doing it directly though. That's also an option. My son is physically attacking me. Hi there. I literally don't know what to do anymore. I'm 48F and my son is 16 meters. My son's father was abusive in our marriage but he never once touched our son, and when my son was 2 I left. His father died a year later in a car accident. I make the choice to be semi-truthful to my son, and when he was in my opinion old enough I told him after he asked what his father was like once again that his father used to hurt me. I didn't specify anything, I just said he hurt me and my son stopped asking so much. For the past 3 years my son has been hitting me, pushing me, screaming at me, etc. It's terrifying. I don't feel like I could ever leave my son like I did his father, especially since I left his father for him. I don't know what's changed. He used to be so sweet and kind. At first I thought it was video games so I restricted his use, but that wasn't it. Then I thought maybe he was hanging out with some bad kids, but I asked a friend of mine whose kid also hangs out with my son and all his friends are the sweet nerdy kids, and then I thought maybe it's social media so I restricted his social media, but once again that didn't work. It's just like all of a sudden he switched. I tried therapy but that didn't change anything. He's gone through 4 therapists. It got really bad last week when he pushed me down the stairs and I went unconscious, and after feeling strange for a while I went to the hospital and I had a concussion. I was terrified to go home. I'm scared of my own son. Please help. Mom does not equal punching bag. Please call the police / get authorities involved, at least for your own protection. I understand that as a mother you have a special connection to your son, but at this point you need to protect yourself and act as if a stranger was in your home, pushing you around. You'd call the police and get the person removed. A concussion is already too much to stand for it anymore. This is a dangerous situation for you, and if your son thinks he can assault the only person that really cares for him, then you need to take some actions to show him that it's entirely possible to be completely left without people that care for you. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry you are in this horrible position at all. I can't imagine how it feels knowing your son gave you a concussion. What was his reaction when you woke up, and you told him about it? I am sorry you are terrified to go home. What runs through my mind is 1. What if he does it again and this lady doesn't wake up next time? 2. What if he hurts others? Future girlfriends? The public? Random guy in a bar? What if that anger grows and he ends up killing someone? I can imagine you maybe don't want to report your son, but he gave you a bad injury and has left you scared to go home. This has to stop, and he obviously doesn't listen to you. Not a criticism, when you tell him to stop or no. Sometimes we have to do the hard, but right thing, and I support you 10,000,000% in reporting him to the police. At the very least, the next time he gets aggressive and threatening, please call the police. But I am worried because I think there will be one and action needs to be taken now. Have you got social services involved at all? I wonder if they can help. Contact the police before he kills or permanently damages you. Does your kid understand where he could possibly go for hitting you, aka juvenile hall? I'm sorry you're going through this. Yes, therapists and me have all explained this to him multiple times. Girlfriend cheated once in past relationship. I'm torn on what to do moving forward. I, 27M, have been dating my girlfriend, 27F, for a couple of months now. When we first started dating she mentioned previous relationships, as did I, and we talked about dating expectations. Things of that nature. Normal stuff. Healthy stuff to talk about. Anyways, she mentioned this one guy she dated a few years ago and that it ended really poorly. I assumed he did something to her. Turns out she, these are her words, did something that reflects poorly on her. At the time I didn't press the issue because I knew she wasn't ready to talk about it. But I knew she cheated on him. Just knew it in my soul and bones. Fast forward 2 months and she finally was able to tell me the full story with full context. I use quotes BC, it isn't full context. It's really just her side of things. But I got exactly what happened. I won't bore with the details, but I won't lie, we were both in tears by the end of the story. Long story short, she completely sabotaged that relationship and fucked some other dude just so she could end things with that guy. He didn't do anything to deserve it. Those were her words, not mine. I asked her if she felt remorse and she said yes. I asked if she takes full responsibility for her actions and she said yes. She's obviously still to this day, 2 or 3 years later, torn about what happened. She knows what she did was wrong. She knows it was a horrible thing to do. But I don't know, I feel completely torn about it. She's a kind and loving person and she really cares about me. But I'm horrified that I'll wake up one day to know she had fucked someone else because she was bored with me or something. I want to be with her but I'm scared. Edit, there's been some truly wonderful advice here. Thank you all. She told you about her past up front when the relationship is at the serious point. She tells you honestly how she felt and assigns no blame but to herself. She shows regret and is torn up about what she did. If she was going to cheat, I doubt any of this would have surfaced at all. The fact she told you so early shows she's being vulnerable to you, but also if you leave, it's only been a few months so it will hurt less. You should talk to a therapist and get these thoughts out. What you have here I doubt you'll find again, and you'll be a fool to let it freak you out. But this is just my opinion. I have been in this situation without the cheating to get out of a boring relationship part, just the cheating. I thought that because my now ex was honest about it so early, it must mean he really regretted cheating and he would never do it again. Boy, was I wrong. I have been in that relationship feeling insecure, jealous, lonely and unhappy for about 1.5 years before I finally found proof that he had lied to direct questions of mine. broke me. I am so over it now. I can't remember one single positive thing about him or our relationship anymore. I don't understand why I stayed for so long. I believe that once a cheater shows a capability in a person that you don't want in a partner. Simple as that. And she even did it because she was too scared to end things. Like what the actual fuck? Listen to your gut feeling. Don't reason it into being okay if you don't feel okay on this. A gut feeling is reason enough to decide you don't want to try with her anymore. I just hope you don't get hurt. I am not saying everyone will repeat cheating, but there is always a chance, and she did it deliberately to get rid of someone. Just think about the level of respect you expect of your partner and if this might offer you that. You can't live your life avoiding pain. It doesn't work. If she cheats, it's going to hurt no matter what you do. If you refuse to ever feel the pain of being cheated on, the only thing you can do is never date. That's not to say that everyone cheats or she will cheat. It's the reality that you will never have the ability to avoid pain unless you just refuse to love. You have two choices here. 1. Stay with her and potentially be cheated on. 2. Leave her and potentially be cheated on by someone else. You cannot control these things. You can certainly limit your risk by not being with someone that has cheated before. But you are just lucky you even know that she cheated before. Most would never admit unless forced. She's being honest in telling you. Would just file this away in my mind as she has cheated, so you know she was at least capable of it before. You ever see any red flags, you'll know to pay attention to them immediately going forward. She'll never have the benefit of the doubt being able to say I'd never do that. She's done it before. Maybe she's changed. Give her +1 for honesty, -1 for cheating in the past. Just tell her she gets 0 strikes in this regard with you. Like, I don't trust her very far when it comes to hanging out with guy friends, for example. Any shady phone behavior. You're not crazy for fearing the worst.